Welcome everybody. In this tutorial series, we are going to be talking about SpriteKit. Now, first of all, what is SpriteKit and what is this program that we have in here? Well, this program is Xcode, and if you don't see this this screen right here, you just need to go to File, New, Project, and then this should pop up here. Now this is the new project setting, and if you don't have Xcode, you need to go to the App Store and download it. It's about 2 gigabytes last time I checked, so it should be a bit of time, but for the most part you need to go to the App Store and download it there. And one thing that we need to talk about is the different kinds of projects you can make in Xcode and what SpriteKit is versus a regular app. So first of all, you can see here that we have everything here, and you have our iOS, our watch OS, and then we have our OS X as well as other. Okay, let's talk a little bit about this. Well, first of all, iOS and OS X are two different operating systems. iOS is for anything mobile. You got your watch, you got your phone, and you got your iPad. All of those items are iOS. It's a streamlined version of OS X, but it makes sure that your devices work well on a limited platform because your phones are not as powerful as your computer. Watch OS is something that's new, and you can see here that it's an iOS app with the Watch Kit. Okay, so at one point the watch was just a projection of the iPhone app, and now it can be more standalone. Okay, so if you want to make an iOS game, you can make one for iPhone and iPad. And that's what this is here, this SpriteKit game. You can also, for example, if we go to the OS X application, you can make a game here as well. So what the SpriteKit framework is, it's a framework within Xcode, and of course this is Xcode, within Xcode that makes it easy to make games. And I'm going to be talking a little bit about why we use games versus apps, etc. Okay, so we'll talk about that on a more detailed and a more coding level. Before we move on with the rest of the course, I want to make sure that that you know a few things about this course. And the first thing is that these tutorials are short tutorials, and after teaching online and teaching the classroom for many years, the short tutorials have been a resounding success with all of the Mammoth Interactive customer base. They love it, and I keep delivering that as well. So the reason why is that you have a small bit of information in a short tutorial, 1 to 5 minutes. Sometimes in some more of the design tutorials, they go past 6 minutes because really, if we're talking about UI, I could go on for half an hour. But we try to keep them short, and the one thing that's really good about that is that when you come back 6 months later, you can easily find what you are looking for instead of kind of thumbing through a huge 27-minute tutorial. All right. So in order to create a SpriteKit game, you need to go, and we're going to go with iOS here. Okay, so we're going to go to SpriteKit game. We're going to go click on this here, and what we're going to do is we're going to call this test SpriteKit for iOS. Okay. The rest of these items here you do not need to worry about. The language we're going to be using is Swift. The game technology here is going to be SpriteKit. Now you can see that there's a bunch of items here. We're just going to use SpriteKit, and this is going to be a two-dimensional game. So games really come in two varieties. They come in a 2D, which uses pictures. For example, if you were to think of photographs, there is an X and a Y. It is 2D, and these are like, imagine a classic Nintendo game. That's what a 2D is. A 3D game is something, a game that has an X and a Y and a Z axis. Okay, so we want to do SpriteKit just because that's the way that we're doing that here. And the devices here, you have the option of iPad, iPhone, or Universal. We're just going to go with the iPhone for now. We're going to go ahead and push next, and you want to go ahead and push create. Okay, and you want to create all of your items in a single folder, and you always want to back that up to the cloud. Now, At the top here, you can see that it's creating a local Git repository. This might take a bit of time if it's the first time loading, okay? So in the next tutorial, we'll start talking a little bit about how we can go and use SpriteKit. This concludes the tutorial.